You've heard your whole life that you need 8 hours of sleep. Doctors say so, magazines say so, your mother says so. 8 hours. As if it were a universal law of the gods. But where did that number come from? It didn't come from any study. It didn't come from any laboratory. It didn't come from any doctor. It came from factories. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Industrial Revolution needed a schedule that worked. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure, 8 hours of sleep. It was an administrative division, not a biological one. And that number stuck. It became truth. It became a rule. It became a diagnosis. Are you sleeping less than 8 hours? Something's wrong with you. But your body isn't a factory. It's more like a cell phone. And not every cell phone needs the same amount of time plugged in. Today, we're going to reveal what science really says. Before factories, people didn't even sleep all at once. Historian Roger E. Kirsch spent 16 years researching old documents, diaries, court records, medical books. He discovered that for centuries, people slept in 2 phases. About 4 hours, they would wake up for 1 or 2 and then sleep for another 4. They called it first sleep and second sleep. It was so normal that nobody found it strange. In other words, the single 8-hour sleep block is not natural, it's recent, it's industrial. If 8 hours isn't the rule, what is? It depends on your age. And the difference is enormous. A 4-month-old baby needs 12 to 16 hours of sleep, almost the entire day. It makes sense. The body is building everything from scratch. Brain, bones, immune system. A 6-year-old child needs 9 to 12 hours of sleep. That's still quite a lot because their brain is in a phase of intense learning. Each night's sleep is when what they learned during the day is consolidated. A 15-year-old needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and here's a detail every parent needs to know. A teenager's biological clock changes. Their body slows down. It's biological. They're not lazy. Their brain literally tells them to go to bed later and wake up later. A 30-year-old adult needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep, not 8, 7 to 9, and a 65-year-old, 7 to 8, sometimes less. The body needs less deep sleep as it ages. It's not insomnia, it's the body adjusting. Do you notice the pattern? The number decreases throughout life. You don't need the same number of hours you needed at 15, and forcing 8 hours when your body needs 7 can be just as bad as not getting enough sleep. Think about the charger again. A brand new phone, fresh out of the box, needs a full charge to calibrate. A phone you've been using for 3 years charges differently. You don't force the same charging time on both. And forcing yourself to sleep 8 hours when your body needs 7 can be just as bad as not getting enough sleep. But the most important thing isn't the number of hours. It's what happens within those hours. Your sleep works in cycles. Each cycle lasts about 90 minutes. And during each cycle, your body goes through different phases, from light sleep to deep sleep, and then REM sleep, which is when you dream. Think of it like a washing machine. Each cycle has steps: soaking, washing, rinsing, spinning. If you interrupt it halfway through, the clothes won't get clean. It doesn't matter if the machine was on for 3 hours. If it didn't complete the cycles, it didn't wash properly. You can stay in bed for 9 hours. But if your sleep is fragmented, you wake up, use your phone, go back to sleep, wake up again, your sleep cycles haven't been completed. And that repair that should happen during deep sleep, it didn't happen. A study followed 1.1 million people for 6 years, and it came to a conclusion that seems contradictory. 5 hours of continuous deep sleep may be healthier than 8 hours of fragmented sleep. In another study, with people sleeping 7 hours a night, sleep quality was shown to be more linked to health, mood, life satisfaction, and even fatigue than quantity. Deep sleep, that heavy, difficult to wake up stage, represents roughly 25% of your total sleep. For someone who sleeps 7 to 8 hours, that's between 1 hour and 30 minutes and 2 hours. It's during this stage that your body repairs muscle tissue, strengthens the immune system, releases growth hormone, and consolidates memories. As you get older, you spend less time in deep sleep. That's natural. But it doesn't mean deep sleep has become less important. It means you need to protect every minute of it. Now, none of this means that sleep doesn't matter. It means that the exact number varies. But sleeping poorly, regardless of the number, has a real cost. And the cost isn't just tiredness the next day. Shiz. A study by MIT discovered something frightening. When the brain can't perform the cleaning it should during sleep, it tries to do it while awake. And to do this, it sends a wave of fluid through the brain. The problem? When this happens while you're awake, your attention simply goes blank for seconds without you realizing it. Imagine that while driving. Poor sleep messes with your hunger hormones. It reduces leptin and increases ghrelin. The result? You eat more, you eat worse. You release less insulin. Glucose remains high. And one analysis estimated that up to 15% of Alzheimer's cases may be linked to poor sleep. Not short sleep, poor sleep. Fragmented, superficial sleep that never reaches deep sleep. Now, the strangest part of all this, there is a group of people, small, between 1 and 3% of the population, who sleep 4 to 6 hours a night, their whole lives, without an alarm clock, without coffee, without feeling bad the next day. It's not insomnia, it's not discipline, it's genetic. Researchers at the University of California spent more than 10 years studying these families, and they found mutations in specific genes that cause the brains of these people to function with less sleep. One of these genes, ADRB1, acts in a region of the brain that controls wakefulness. The neurons are easier to activate and remain active for longer. And the most curious thing? These people not only don't suffer negative effects, they seem to have advantages. They are more optimistic, more energetic, have a higher pain tolerance, and don't experience jet lag. And the most impressive discovery, they seem to be protected against neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's. Going back to the charger, imagine a cell phone with a new, more efficient battery. It charges in half the time but reaches 100%. It's not that it charged less, it's that it charges better. Now, before you think so I can sleep 5 hours, no, this mutation is rare, very rare. Most people who sleep 5 hours don't have the gene. They have sleep deprivation, and there's a huge difference between sleeping little because your body is like that and sleeping little because your life doesn't allow it. First, stop blaming yourself for not sleeping 8 hours. That number wasn't made for you. It was made for a factory. Second, discover your range. If you are between 18 and 64 years old, science says between 7 and 9. But within that range, your number is what makes you wake up without an alarm clock, function well during the day, and not unintentionally nap in the afternoon. Third, protect your sleep cycles. There's no point in spending 8 hours in bed if your sleep is fragmented. Remove screens from the bedroom, maintain a regular schedule. Keep the room dark and cool. Each complete sleep cycle is worth more than an extra hour of fragmented sleep. Listen to your body. It gives you signals all the time. If you wake up before your alarm and feel good, don't force yourself to sleep any longer. If you need 3 coffees to function, something is wrong, and it's probably not the quantity, it's the quality. Your body already knows how much sleep it needs. You just need to stop forcing a number that was never yours. How many hours are you sleeping? And more importantly, do you wake up feeling good? Tell me below. If you wake up feeling good after 6 hours, don't let anyone tell you it's wrong. And if you sleep 9 and are still tired, maybe the problem isn't the amount of time. Maybe it's what happens within that time.